Off, I would like to say hello, Happy New Year, and welcome to Wind in the Willows of the Mind blogspot. This is my own little creation that I created last year, and I know that people visit, and I really appreciate that. Whether you choose to follow it incognito, anonymously, or you're brave enough to put your name over there on the side. Hello, Pagafear. Hello, Dragon Rose. I want to send a special shout out to my Nexus buddies and to all those that follow me on YouTube with all my dance videos. I appreciate you coming over to read all my ramblings and my poetry and stories and all of that. I wrote a new story at the beginning of the year, and I thought I would do something a little bit different by reading it to you. I got this really super cool headphone and microphone set for Christmas, so I thought this is a great way to say hi to everybody and read the story. So the story's posted for you to read along if you'd like, but if not, you can just close your eyes and listen to the story as it's read. The name of the story is Shield, inspired by dreams dreamt meaningfully in the still of the night, but not remembered clearly by the light of day. And that is the truth. The coffee shop was small, intimate. Too many patrons would have been distracting, intrusive, like some creepy sneak listening to a conversation of whispers from behind the shadows cast by a bedroom door. On the other hand, too few patrons would have bred awkwardness, suggesting nakedness with the inability to cover up their vulnerability. After all, their relationship, though familiar, was delicate, always hanging precariously in the balance somewhere between. Regardless, they walked past the aromatic shop until they found a park bench overlooking the river. It was a beautiful night for sitting in the dark. As they sat looking at the rows of light winking across the river, he traced his name on the palm of her hand with his index finger. She drew her hand away suddenly and blurted out, "I'm not sure if you know what it is you really want." She looked at him with eyes so honest, so pure, that he almost felt dirty. "You know I would never hurt you." He didn't know how to convey his desire to protect her any other way. It was simple. It was pure. Just like her. "Well, I'm a big responsibility," she cried, both vocally and with crystalline tears that meandered slowly down her cheeks to meet gracefully under her quivering chin. "I know that," he said tenderly. The last thing he wanted was for her to feel frightened or apprehensive. "I've never felt this way about anyone. I've never met someone I feel this comfortable with, even though we're so different." He finished the sentence for her. Her gaze falling into her lap let him know he'd hit the nail on the head. "Have you thought about all the ways we're alike?" he asked. "We can almost finish each other's sentences. I've never met anyone like that. No one ever listened to me that close or knew me well enough to be able to." "You seem to know me better than I know myself sometimes." He smiled. She rolled her eyes and, despite her nerves, managed to smile back. It was hard not to. He affected her that way, even when she didn't want him to. "If we do this, you'll have my body as well as my heart. My heart is very precious to me. I don't want it broken, ignored, stepped on, diminished. I've worked very hard to protect the pieces of it I have left." She had begun to cry again. Not the weak, sobby kind of crying fake babes did. He was moved deep inside where he thought he had died watching her cry like that. The kind of crying strong heroines in old black and white films did, their faces straight, only the tears falling from their eyes moving in crooked lines. "I'm afraid of you too," he said quietly, "but we'll never know if we don't at least try." "Will you be my shield?" she asked with a sincerity that dared him to lie. "Even if your feelings change for me or you meet somebody that catches your eye, will you protect me still? Will you guard from harm all that you have created?" He opened his mouth to speak, but she quickly put 2 fingers to his lips lightly to shush him. "Let me finish. This is important. I'm not asking for a lifelong commitment. I just want to know that you will always respect me and hold a little place in your heart for me, even after we're just a memory to each other." "I can't predict the future, sweet one." He paused to take her hands in his. He knew she felt as though the eyes were the windows to the soul. That's why she wore sunglasses, even in the dark sometimes, to protect her spirit, to remain anonymous when she felt danger near. He released one of her hands only so that he could turn her face toward his. He wanted to make sure she could see into his soul, could see he meant what he was about to say. What I can promise is that you'll always be special to me. Whether I'm right here beside you or far across the vast expanse of the sea, you, dear woman, will always be a part of me, of who I have become, and who I am to be. You are a queen, he said, looking straight into her eyes, his gaze never breaking with hers. You are a warrior, she said, gently using her free hand to swirl a lock of his dark hair back into place. With that, she turned her head as far as it would go to the left, as if she were looking for something very far away over her shoulder. She'd read somewhere that it was good luck to turn your face that way. Oddly, now that the time had come, she wasn't calm, but she didn't feel scared out of her mind either. He'll be my shield. He ran his fingers up and down the goose-pimpled flesh of her arms. She shivered, even though it was warm. When his sharp incisors pierced the sensitive flesh of her neck, she felt no pain, only indescribable pleasure. As he drank the nectar from her veins, his body moved to cover hers. He was now, and forevermore would be, her shield. The end. I think the ending was not what you probably expected, and I like it like that. I hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope you'll visit often. Happy modding if we ever get the creation kit. Happy Skyriming. And I will, I'm sure, meet up with you all on the Nexus or on YouTube or around the net somewhere. So take care, and thanks for listening.